the parks multiple times a week, and every time we're here, we see people making the same mistakes over and over and over again. So today, we're going to talk about what some of those mistakes are and what to do instead. The first mistake is paying way too much money for bottled drinks. While you're at the parks, if you want something to drink, whether it's water, Coke, Powerade, it's gonna cost you like $4 to $6 for every single one. And if you're here on a day like today where it is hot, you're gonna need a lot to drink, and that money is gonna add up quick. But this cup is going to solve all of your problems, okay? This cup right here is like $16.99 the first day that you purchase it, and it comes with unlimited refills from the Coke Freestyle machine. So that's water, that's soda, that's Powerade, that's vitamin water, you name it. They have like pretty much anything that you could imagine in those Freestyle machines. But the best part about this cup is once you buy it and you have the physical cup, you can bring it back on the rest of the days of your trip, and you only have to pay like $10 to reactivate it to get free refills for that entire day too.
We figured instead of just telling you how much the cup saves us, we'd show you today. So I'm gonna put a counter like right here, actually right here. And every time that we fill up the cup, we'll just add in the equivalent amount that it would have cost us if we would have bought a bottle. And that way we can just keep a running total of how much it saves us throughout the entire video.
If you're somebody that just wants to drink water, you can bring one of these cups that you've previously purchased or any kind of cup from home, and you can fill it up with water for free at the Freestyle machines all day long. And also at the food kiosk, if you don't want to bring a cup and carry it with you, you can get free cups just for water. If you guys have any more questions about these cups, we've got all kinds of information about them. So leave us a comment down below and we'll try our best to help you out.
Mistake number 2 is letting the wait times scare you. Everyone has that number that you're just not willing to wait longer than. So if you see a posted wait time, it may be 60 minutes. If you see a posted wait time at 60 minutes, you're not getting in line. The problem is the parks get really busy sometimes. Today's not that bad. I think Hagrid's is only like a 70-minute wait, Velocicoaster's 35 minutes. But only about a month ago, some of the more popular attractions were over 200 minutes. And if your number is 200 minutes, you're insane. But what you don't want to happen is you don't want to go home and regret not riding something just because it had a high posted wait time. This is like a once-in-a-lifetime trip for a lot of people. So if there's something you want to ride, just bite the bullet and get in line. We think that Universal has a tendency to overpost wait times, and I don't think it's malicious. We think it's like psychological. So have you ever stood in line and been upset that you waited less time than what was posted? You've never gotten out of a line and been like, Universal said that was 200 minutes, only waited an hour, never coming back here. Hate those people, hate Universal. It's just not gonna work. It's kind of like what I do with Anna when I wanna buy something. I will just tell her that it's like 20% more than what it is a couple weeks before, and then, lo and behold, a couple weeks later, hey, Anna, this thing that I've been wanting, it's way cheaper than it was a couple weeks ago. We can go ahead and buy it.
Do you actually do that?
No.
We're gonna put this theory to the test, so I'm gonna go jump on Hagrid's and time it.
I guess while I wait. I just realized that I agreed to not ride Hagrid's to do this experiment.
Minutes for Hagrid's, like on and off Hagrid's, is amazing. Like, I'll wait that any day of the week. We might need to come back tomorrow and just like enjoy how not busy the parks are. Mistake number number 3 is waiting until you get here to buy literally anything. That could be daytime tickets or express passes. If you wait and try to purchase them at the gates day of, you're going to pay more money for them. Now, we've talked about this before, and I feel like people kind of understand that with their tickets. You're gonna have to have tickets to get in the parks. You might as well like get them ahead of time and be prepared and not have to deal with the lines. But when it comes to express passes, a lot of people think, oh, we'll wait, we'll get to the parks, we'll see what the wait times are, and then if it's crazy, we'll buy express. And the problem with that is that if it's really slow, that's kind of not going to be a problem, and you can do that. But even if it's moderately busy in the parks, you're going to pay a substantial amount more for those express passes day of. And if you come during a really busy time, they could even be sold out. So on top of maybe having to pay like $300 plus for one express pass, you might not even be able to get them day of. So one of the problems with Express is that people don't seem to understand the pricing. We had some friends that came down here from Tennessee during the busiest part of spring break, and they called us the day before, and what they said was that they were planning on buying Express when they got here, and they asked if it was going to be $80. That's what they were expecting it to be. And the reason they were expecting this is because if you look on Universal's website, what it says is that Express starts at $79.99. But it's rarely going to be that price, okay?
Like never.
Yeah, so we checked like the day that they were coming, which was the next day, and it was going to be like $350 per person for that day. So the $79.99 is the base level express. So that's going to be one park and only once per ride. So on top of that, you can have a 2-park, and then you can upgrade it to express. So every time you add something, it's going to get more expensive. And then when the parks are busier and people are buying more, they make them more expensive as they start to sell out.
And the thing is, if you see it at $80, you don't need it.
Mistake number 4 is only focusing on the rides.
Yeah.
And we get it. When you think about a theme park, you think about roller coasters, you think about the 3D rides, like all of the traditionally cool things. And you don't really think about the other things like shows and stuff like that. When we used to come down here from Tennessee, we made it like our mission to just ride as many rides as possible and ride them over and over again.
We had probably been coming for a couple of years before we really sat down and watched the shows together. I don't know why. It was just like it was our life mission.
Yes.
We would ride Mummy 8 times instead of watching the Horror Makeup Show, which is now one of our favorite shows that we have ever seen at any amusement park.
And another thing that we love to do nowadays is stand outside of the Five and Dime, and as people are exiting the Born Stuntacular for the first time, and just hearing their reactions, because they're just blown away. Like the first time you see that show and that technology, it is absolutely amazing. But there are so many other things too, like the character meet and greets. We absolutely love those. And then there's food, of course, like we love eating food, and there's some really good food here. But there's also like the interactive Harry Potter ones. There's just so many other things to do besides riding rides.
You know the camera bag that I've been looking at?
Yeah.
I found it on sale for like 20% off.
Okay. It literally just hit me that he was being an absolute turd and just referencing his joke from earlier.
The look of concern that I just got when I put that on that ledge.
Careful with it.
Yeah. You care about that thing way too much. But the 5th mistake is pushing yourself too hard. What, we've been here 5.5 hours?
Yeah.
Is that right?
Ish.
I couldn't get to my steps thing. We've done 14,500 steps. 5.5 hours. And we've been like sitting around and recording. It's easy to rack up steps when you're down here, and we've had days where we hit close to like 40,000 steps in a single day. And if you're down here for a week, you're just not gonna make it. We think back to the days when we would come down for a week for HHN, and we'd do EPA until HHN closes, and I really don't know how we used to do that. I didn't realize that we were like superhuman back then, but we're not anymore, because I'm ready to go home and put my feet in a tub at this point, and we're not even halfway there. But taking a break can come in many forms. I mean, there's benches all around the parks. Y'all know how I like to lay on benches. You should have a hotel day in the middle of your stay. You can go back to the hotel just in the middle of the day instead of just having a full-on hotel day. Go see some of the shows like we were talking about. There's all kinds of things you can do to give yourself a little bit of a break, and we promise you, you're probably going to need it, and you're going to wish that you had done it sooner as soon as you start doing it.
I'm not gonna lie, from like behind the camera, it looks like your elbow was a lot closer to knocking this precious cup in the water than it actually was. But the whole takeaway is just that you're here on vacation, and what you don't want to do is go home and need another vacation, even though you're probably gonna have to immediately go back to work. One for the road.
There's one more mistake that we just have to mention because it's probably the biggest mistake that you can make, and that's not being subscribed to this channel. So if you're not, go ahead and do that.
You should do that.
Did you like that?
I did.
It was real clever.
It was good.
It was real clever. But look at all this money we saved. I think I'll put it back over here.
Yeah.
Yeah. We know exactly how much that number is right now. Just subtract 10 from that, and that's exactly how much we saved. Yeah. But thanks for hanging out, guys. If you want to check out
our review of the Hard Rock Hotel.
There we go.
You can do that right here. Click right there.
But thanks again, and we will see you guys in the next one.
Bye.
Hit subscribe.